for February. If this is your first time, I want you to know that any action we take tonight will be followed by action of the full board, which is happening on February 18th. After each application, I will first go to members of the community for questions or comments and then go to the board. Please observe the norms of decorum. We are all here to get a communal and efficient outcome. I'd also please like to ask you to keep your comments to the merits of the individual proposals and address anything to myself or my co-chair Abraham once he arrives. We'd like to avoid any crosstalk. For our board members, please be at the ready with your motions, and let's welcome Marlene Schneider, our newest public board member. And then we also have Dale Simpson joining us again. With that, let's go to Jordan for the rules of the road.
Thank you, Lindsay. Hello, everyone. Welcome. If this is your first time joining, you will notice that you are currently muted and you will remain muted throughout the entirety of the meeting. And everyone will remain muted except for the committee co-chairs, Lindsay and Abraham, and any presenters as we move throughout the agenda. Following the presentations, the co-chairs will call on members of the public wishing to speak. You can participate by pressing the raise hand button on the bottom of your screen, not the wave or thumbs up, as those will disappear. Only press it once. If you press it a second time, your hand will go back down. If you're calling in on the phone, it is *+9 to raise your hand and *+6 to unmute. Be on the lookout for a prompt asking you to confirm unmuting once the co-chairs call on you. The chat is available for technical support only to help with Zoom software problems, not to ask questions of the co-chairs. They will not see the chats. If you're using an older version of Zoom, you may need to find the React menu, Participants menu, or button that says More, where you will find the raise hand feature in one of those. If you plan to speak during the meeting, it would help us if you would rename your device with your full first and last name. And please do not raise your actual hand or wave at the screen because we may not be able to see you. Chat me, I'm here for support.
Okay, great. And as for committee members present, I see myself, Marco, Dale, Marlene, Kimberly, Russell, Judy, Robin, Jane, Sasha, Miles. So we are sitting at 11. Is that the count that you have? Oh, and Evan. Thank you. I see Evan now too.
Thank you. Yes.
Okay, so we are sitting at 12. Great. All right, let's get started. Do we have a representative from Treadwell Park here?
Trey, I just sent you a prompt to unmute.
Yes, I'm here.
Great. Why don't you go ahead with your presentation?
Hi. Yes, representing Treadwell Park. We just had a renewal for our liquor license, and there was just some basically administrative error in our office where we missed the 30-day window for the notice for the CB8, so we requested an extension so we can get our liquor license renewed. Nothing else about the establishment or anything else was changed. It was just a renewal. We just made a mistake in our office.
Okay, great. Thank you. Is there anyone from the public that has questions or comments for this applicant? Seeing none, let's go to Marco.
Thank you, Lindsay. I would like to put a motion. The motion is to approve as presented. Is anybody second?
I see a second. And before we call the question, let's go to Judy.
I was seconding.
Oh, perfect. Then we're seconding. Would anyone like to call the question? I see that. Robin, thank you. People are agreeing to this. All right. So this is a motion to approve. If anyone would like to vote no or abstain on this applicant, please let me know. Otherwise, this will go down as a 12-0 approval. All right, great, thank you. Let's now go to Heidi House. Is there a representative from Heidi House here?
Yes.
Great.
So we are looking to get an additional bar. We used to have two spaces that were adjacent. The DOH asked us to combine them under one health permit. So the way to properly do it is to apply for an additional bar in the second space, and we and go before the board. And we have the other liquor license sitting in safekeeping.
Okay. Is there anyone from the community that has questions or comments for this applicant? Seeing none, let's go to Miles.
Motion to approve is presented.
All right, and we've got seconds from Kimberly, and Sasha would call the question. Oh, and Todd Stein I now see has joined us as well, so we're at 13. Marco has a question though. Let's go to Marco.
Thank you. Did I hear correctly that saying that he's going to enlarge the venue?
No.
No,
Just put
okay.
a
Please.
pass-through between the two walls, between the wall.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear.
We just put an opening into the wall that the two spaces sit next to one another.
So this is one house to another house.
It's
The
two
opening.
houses into one house.
Yeah, the opening.
Right.
So how width is the opening?
The opening is, say,
Approximately
18 inches by 7 inches, maybe 10 inches.
18 inches.
Right. It's
So
going to
not
be,
even a person can go over there.
No.
no, it's just going to
Oh,
be, we're just going
oh,
to pass
okay.
the food.
Oh, okay. But
Yeah.
that is between the two buildings.
No, it's in the same building.
Same
Same.
building. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Now I
Yeah.
understand. Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank
No
you.
problem. Thank you.
Okay, so we have a motion. Would anyone like to call the question? Yes, all right, great, let's do that. So this is a motion to approve. If anyone's going to be abstaining or voting no, please let me know. Otherwise, this will go down as a 13-0 approval. All right, great. Thank you very much.
Thank
Thank you.
you. Have a wonderful night.
Thanks. We'll now go to new applications for the State Liquor Authority. Do we have a representative from UES Tavern?
Good evening.
Yes, I'm so glad you're here. Do it so everyone can learn.
Okay, so this is an on-premise liquor license transfer application for UES Tavern LLC. We are located at 181 East 73rd Street, also known as 1278 3rd Avenue, which is on the corner of East 73rd and 3rd Avenue. This is formerly the Seymour's Restaurant. We'll be a full-service restaurant with a sophisticated menu, international. It's you can get everything from burgers to lobster humidor at this restaurant. We'll have 45 tables that seat 122 people, and one bar that seats 13, with 4 restrooms. There's no change from the previous setup that the old Seymour's had. It's the same seating. Our hours will be 11 to midnight, Sunday to Wednesday, 11 to 2 a.m., Thursday to Saturday, and we'll provide light background music for the dining area. Jonathan Wainwright, who's the owner, is an experienced operator. He was actually part of the Seymour's group. They've had 3 restaurants in Manhattan for quite a while, so they're very experienced on how to run a restaurant the correct way. No complaints that we know of. We think he'll be a great asset to the neighborhood, as he was already part of the neighborhood. So he'll continue to be able to provide a service to the people on the Upper East Side.
Great, thank you. Is there anyone from the public that has questions or comments for this applicant? Seeing none, let's go to Marco.
I have a question. You said that you will have 122 people. Is that correct?
Yes,
Do you have a certificate of operation?
yes.
So, so you have that one issue completely, or you apply?
You're talking about the C of O, Marco?
No. CO, I didn't say the CO. I said the certificate of operation or PAA, public
Oh, the
accounting.
PA permit, yes. We're applying for the PA permit.
Are you applying? Is that correct?
Yeah, well, you have to transfer it from one to the other. So it's actually the spot has a PA permit, but
It has it.
we're
No,
getting
you cannot transfer.
Yeah, they're just
Once
getting
they
the
issue
name.
the PAA, that's fine. So you can operate 122 people in that
Yes.
venue.
Yeah, we
Okay,
have
thank you.
137, I think, is the capacity.
That's fine. That's fine. As long as you have the PAA, that's fine for me.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah,
you.
we have the PA.
All right, let's recognize TJ Stein.
Just curious about the music. Excuse me, when you mentioned you have music, is it live or is it?
Oh, no, light background music from like an iPad and some.
Oh, okay. Just wanted to clarify. Thanks.
Okay, let's recognize Miles.
Motion to approve is presented and then with speaking afterward if seconded.
Okay, you got a second from Kimberly?
I was just curious what the number of bathrooms you have in the establishment, as there's a lot of occupancy.
4.
4. Okay, thank you.
Okay, great. And Judy, I saw your hand is down. Would anyone like to call the question? Marco's doing that. All right. No, Marco's not. Marco has a question. Let's recognize Marco.
Thank you. Are you willing to accept this stipulation that you have a public assembly permit for that venue?
Absolutely.
Oh, okay. I will support your application. Thank you.
Hey, Marco, will you send me an email with that stipulation so I can just put that
Sure,
text
I will.
directly in?
I will.
Thank
I
you.
will. Thank you.
All right. Judy.
Call the question.
Oh, perfect. And Marlene, is that permitted are you fine with that? Great. So this is a motion to approve. If anyone's going to be abstaining or voting no, please let me know. Otherwise, this will go down as a 13-0 approval. All right, great. Let's move on to Linda's at Madison. Do we have a representative from this business?
Yes, Frank Nalaveco, I'm the representative. And with us, we have the owner, Linda Shreya, and her husband, Victor, who currently own Cafe Lex, which is on 92nd and Lex Ave. So this is a new establishment, very small. It's under 400 square feet. They have no sit-down bar. There will be 10 tables and 20 chairs. Hours of operation, it's Monday through Thursday, it's from 4 p.m. till 10 p.m. And then weekends, they'll have a brunch Saturday, Sunday, starting at noon and closing at 10 p.m.
Okay, great. Are there any questions from members of the public? Seeing none, let's go to Marco.
I would like to put a motion. The motion is to approve as presented. Is anybody second?
Yep, you've got seconds.
Thank you.
All right, and would anyone like to call the question? Perfect. So this is a motion to approve. If anyone's going to be voting no or abstaining, please let me know. Otherwise, this will go down as a 13-0 approval. Great. Let's now go on to
Thank you.
Cafeteria. Thank you. Cafeteria LLC.
Good evening. My name is Frank Palillo. How are you?
Hi, Frank. Please go ahead with your presentation.
I believe Julian is on.
I see Julian.
Prompt to unmute to Julian as well.
Hi, how are you? Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, folks. This location is directly next door to Julian's existing restaurant, Soledad 1825 2nd Avenue. We will have 46 seats at tables, 10 seats at the bar, 6 counter seats. Hours are Sunday to Wednesday, 11 a.m. to 11 p.m., Thursday to Saturday, 11 a.m. to midnight. And no, Marco, the two stores are not being joined. These are two separate businesses. I'd be happy to answer any questions you might have.
Okay, great. Thank you. Is there anyone from the public that has questions or comments for this applicant? Seeing none, let's go to Sasha.
I was curious what kind of food will be at this restaurant.
Julian Medina, go ahead.
Yes, it's gonna be a Spanish tapas,
Okay.
small plates, all Spanish food.
Nice. Very cool. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to Miles.
Motion to approve as presented.
Great, you've got seconds for that. Marco, do you have? Okay.
Second.
Perfect. And someone would like to call the question, I imagine? Yes. All right, so this is a motion to approve. If anyone's going to be abstaining or voting no, please let me know. Otherwise, this will go down as a 13-0 approval. Great. Now we're going to move to the next part of our agenda.
Thank you.
Which are alteration applications. We have Ash Hill Inc. doing business as the Raven Pub. Is there a representative from this business here?
That's me again.
Oh, great.
So first of all, we apologize for not being able to make it last month. People were out of the country, so we couldn't get all the paperwork together. This is an alteration to add the already approved sidewalk cafe of 3 tables and 6 chairs to the existing liquor license. We're at 1471 First Avenue between East 76th Street and East 77th Street. We have 57 seats inside and 2 restrooms. We'll follow all the SLA and dining out rules. We will not block any fire department equipment or utility access panels, and the cafe will close at 10 p.m. promptly every night.
Okay, great. Is there anyone from the public that has questions or comments for this applicant? Seeing none, let's go to Marco.
Thank you. Motion to approve as presented. Is anybody second?
Okay, we've got seconds, and before we
Thank you.
call the question, let's go to Miles and then Judy.
I'm just basing this off of a couple of previous applications we've had where there's been problems with noise complaints. So I was just curious if there's been any history of complaints over noise, and secondly, if there's music that is played. Thank you.
We don't know of any complaints about noise, but there is music played inside. But there's no, it's not entertainment volume. It's actually, it's not loud music.
All right, let's go to Judy.
Okay, now I have 2 questions. I'm not familiar with the restaurant. Does this have windows that are open? Will the music come out onto the sidewalk?
They do not open, no.
Okay, good. My other question is, can you tell me, because I got a little confused with your description, how many is the total tables and chairs outside?
Outside is 3 tables and 6 seats.
Oh, okay, so you don't have any existing. Okay, thank you.
Okay, great. We have a motion. Would anyone like to call the question? Perfect. So this is a motion to approve. If anyone's going to be voting no or abstaining, please let me know. Otherwise, this will go down as a 13-0 approval. All right, thank you very much. Let's now move to the next part of our agenda, which are applications for the Department of Transportation's for roadway or sidewalk cafes. The first business we have is Nectar Restaurant. Do we have a representative from Nectar here?
That's me again.
Okay.
This is an application for an enclosed sidewalk cafe. We're located at 1090 Madison Avenue at the corner of East 82nd Street. This is Nectar Restaurant. They've been there for years. There's 12 tables and 24 seats in the enclosed cafe. The restaurant itself has 25 tables and 60 seats inside with 1 restroom. The existing structure does not block any utility or fire department equipment. It's been there for years and was designed and approved by the Department of City Planning way back when the Consumer Affairs was in charge of these things. They're open 7:30 a.m. to 9 p.m. daily, so everything will be closed early.
And Mr. Callahan, can you please educate me and the rest of the committee? This is something that I think has essentially already been grandfathered in by the Department of Transportation. Does that sound correct to you?
Yes, they're just going through the motions of, going to the community boards, letting them know they're still around.
Okay,
They
thank you.
be licensed as well.
All right. Is there anyone from the public that has questions or comments for this applicant? Seeing none, let's go to Marco.
Thank you. I'm going to explore the question of the grandfather. My concern is this facility or this venue has been in operation without noise, changing the owner or stop for another lease? Can you explain me that part, if you know that?
Well, I know it's been around for quite some time. I don't know where they are in the lease process.
No, my question, I'm trying to figure it out. If they has been using continuously the enclosed sidewalk cafe? Because it's untraditional in the area. I mean, I'm not sure. That's what I'm trying to figure it out, or more or less, when was granted this enclosed sidewalk cafe?
Well, this had been licensed in the old program with Department of Consumer Affairs, and they haven't been in charge of this since just at the beginning of the COVID. So it's been there at least that long, and they've been using it. And when the new Sidewalk Cafe program was taken over by DOT, they were told they can use it. Actually, at that point, they didn't know if they were going to license them or not, but they decided to license them, so they basically could use it until they're approved.
So are you saying that more or less this enclosed sidewalk cafe was in the period or the beginning or in the period of COVID? Do you understand correctly?
Yes.
So, I mean, I have serious concern in that part, honestly. And usually we don't accept enclosed sidewalk cafes because they take too much the space, the public space. And that basically, I would like to see something that tell me exactly when was granted, why is granted, and what is the regulations, so in order to grandfather something that probably it potentially is not within the law.
I mean, it's not a new structure. It was licensed by a previous agency and approved when it was built by the Department of City Planning.
Yeah, but the city planning recently released the responsibilities to DOT. But I would like to know exactly when was that. I understand your point, but I'm still concerned that with this enclosed sidewalk cafe.
Yeah,
It's one of the issues that in our community we don't allow. It takes the space for the public away, and that is my major concern.
The only
Well,
thing I could say to that, Marco, would be that, it's been in existence in the neighborhood. And I'm not sure if you have gotten complaints about it or not.
no. I don't have any complaints. I don't know. The only thing I'm going to say is, are you willing to put a stipulation saying that this enclosed sidewalk cafe was legally approved with some of the agencies prior COVID, something like that? Because this one has been for a while, and we didn't approve any enclosed sidewalk cafes in our community. And if you're willing at least to have something that I feel confident if you come with something that you're saying that it was approved for a long period of time, because I don't remember in the last 18 years that we approved any enclosed sidewalk cafes.
So if I can just jump in here quickly, this was a legally approved structure and it has been grandfathered in. And from here on out, no one, at least in Community Board 8 and probably for all of Manhattan, is going to be granted enclosed sidewalk cafes. But for the ones that have already been granted licensing, they're going to be like the ones that can exist moving forward. So I'm not sure that a stipulation is necessary on this one, but if you're interested in the information, I imagine Mr. Callahan could figure out when it was constructed. But I have no doubt as to the permittability of it, given what the laws look like now.
The only thing I'm going to say is I has been 18 years in the community. Well, probably Judy is longer than me, without no doubt. But in 18 years, we never approve any enclosed sidewalk cafes. Okay? So at least I have the reference 18 years. And if it proves that it has been prior that, well, I will support. Otherwise, I will feel uncomfortable to support this application.
Okay, so maybe it's an abstain tonight, and maybe Mr. Callahan can figure this out prior to the full board meeting.
I think maybe Judy, I don't know. I'm
Judy
sorry.
might know, yeah. Let's go to Kimberly and then Judy.
Yeah.
I was going to move to approve if you want to go to Judy first.
Okay, let's go to Judy.
Marco, I think the law was changed back in 1975. And the existing people that had the enclosed outdoor cafes did not have to come to us for permits. I've got two right across the street from me. One was, everybody would know it is Baker Street. It's been a bunch of other things. It's empty right now. Now, if that remains empty for 2 years, then they cannot lease it. And if the owner does not take it down, the city will come and remove it if it is not leased and put into business within the 2-year period. So I think this probably is legal if it was one of those. And maybe Mr. Callahan can get you more information about exactly when, but I'm sure it dates way back to when the law was changed in 1975. And I would suggest that we go with Kimberly's resolution that we do approve it.
Thank you, Judy. I forgot all about that.
Yeah, it's great to have institutional knowledge. This is wonderful. And as for any other sort of like movements, the Department of Transportation is going to enforce this on people who haven't reapplied for this. Let's go to Kimberly.
Motion to approve?
Great. And you've got seconds and someone would like to call the question. Perfect. Okay. So this is a motion to approve. If anyone's going to be abstaining or voting no, please let me know. Marco.
No.
Okay. All right. So this is going to be a 12-1 approval. Thank you very much. We are now going to go to the next item in this agenda piece, which is Sato, doing business as Mole Cantina Mexicana. Do we have a representative from this business here? I see Gino MM.
Hi, how are you, everyone? I'm Genevieve. I'm representing Sato, doing business as Mole Mexican restaurant. We're at 1735 Second Avenue, so 2nd and 90th Street. This is just, I guess, another step. We were approved by Department of Transportation to continue to operate the outdoor cafe. It's 5 tables and 10 chairs. We had been operating the cafe when Department of Consumer Affairs was in charge of the program since 2012. So when COVID hit and DOT took the program, we had to reapply with them. We've been approved, and I think this is just part of the process to bring it in front of the community board.
And did you all flyer for this meeting? Because it's not clear to me that that happened because none of those were submitted to the board office.
Ask me the question again.
Did you post any flyers alerting the community?
We did. I think what happened is I submitted the pictures a little later than I had to, but I did submit all the paperwork, the pictures and the questionnaire.
Okay, I have just did that. So can I ask you to follow up in the chat with Jordan? This will, so she can make sure it's the right email, because we don't have any of the flyers, but presuming that they're up, that should be fine.
The 30 posters, yes.
Yeah, okay. So just square away that with her in the chat. Is there anyone from the community that has questions or comments for this applicant? Seeing none, let's go to Kimberly.
Motion to approve is presented.
Okay, we've got seconds, but before we do that, let's hear what is on Miles and Marcos's mind. Miles?
I was just curious, should we be adding like a stipulation that says if the flyers were approved? I'm not saying, I'm just curious, is that how this would work, or?
Well, I'd actually probably defer to Jordan on this. Jordan, do you want to weigh in on like the likelihood that maybe these just are in the wrong inbox?
I mean, yeah, probably. That very well could happen. I can double check, and then I just asked her if she could forward everything to me again. If you want to, do your normal process, and if I can, show it to Lindsay before the next full board, the same process as how we usually do if there's going to be a substitute or not.
So that seems fine to me. Would you agree to a stipulation that says like the flyers have been uploaded to the portal and will be reviewed before the full board?
Me?
Yeah, that's a question for you.
Oh, yeah, I guess, yeah, they want me to send it to Lee, the pictures of us posting the signs.
Yes, to where they're posted, just to Jordan Lee.
Okay, sorry, this is the first time I do this. So once I forward that, I just reappear on the 18th for the full board?
You won't have to reappear necessarily. It's just for us to know that it happened, and then I think people would feel more comfortable moving
Okay.
forward with it, because for everyone else, you're welcome to appear, but
Oh, okay, okay, I'll forward all the pictures then, yeah.
the applicant agrees to a stipulation that flyers were posted prior to the meeting, and evidence of that will be forwarded to the board office. That sounds like a fair stipulation. Does that work for you, Miles? Okay, let's go to Marco.
Thank you. When did you post it? I mean, I don't care if you sent late. That's not my point. My point is, when did you post it?
The day before yesterday.
The day before yesterday, you
Yeah.
just posted.
Yeah.
Well, the open law meetings said that you had to post it at least, if I'm not wrong, is 2 weeks.
Okay, so I
And that
posted.
is, it means it is part of the process. And it means, I'm sorry to go in that direction, but the issue, the people has to understand, has to learn what's
Right.
going to happen. It looks like it's a good business, nothing wrong. But the
Right.
point is, the community has to be posted on time, and that's I have a problem on that part. It means I don't want to say this one, but I strongly recommend that you withdraw and you put an application next month, and then you put do properly the procedure and make easier for you and make easier for us. Because otherwise, I will say no, personal myself. I don't know my rest of the fellow community members, but I advise you that post it at least 2 weeks in advance, so the community it knows very well. It's up to you. I'm not going to impose anything to you.
So right now we have a motion to approve. The challenge with this is that this feedback date from the Department of Transportation is already way past. And so I'm sort of wondering if the move could be for us to table this at the committee level, have it be posted prior to the Feb 18 meeting, and then have us consider it as the committee on the whole. I'm seeing some agreement with this sort of plan. I think that might be reasonable. And so what would happen now is we'd remove this motion to approve, we'd agree to table it, and then we'd all consider it at that full board on Feb 18. And in the interim, Gino, you would have the opportunity to post. Does that seem reasonable to you?
So repost?
To just post, yes, because then it'll have that 2 weeks time, and then we'll all consider it at Feb 18, which is our in-person full board meeting.
All right, so just reappear on the 18th with, okay.
Yeah.
I think you already posted, and
Yes.
so
Just keep them
we
up. Just
it's
don't take
running
them
the
down.
time. It's running the
them up.
time. But we are not going to approve. We're gonna just only
We'll table it, and then we'll approve the
table, and
18th.
then
It seems
on
like
the
that's
full
the.
board, which I strongly recommend that you should be there. And by that time, I think it's most likely it will be approved. That's my opinion.
And actually, a wrinkle just got thrown into this. The Department of Transportation has asked for a resolution by this Friday on this piece. This just came through.
Sorry,
So-
DOT, in correspondence with the extension on their feedback date, had requested specifically that we give them a committee resolution on this application.
So here's maybe where it makes sense. A conditional approval that is revocable on the 18th, but provided that the posting stays up. That seems reasonable to me, but let's go to someone who knows a lot more. Let's go to Russell.
Russell, no, probably better.
No, I mean, I don't know better. I guess I'm confused about if the deadline for DOT was always going to be before full board. I don't understand the timing of any of this. It's very confusing to me. It seems like there was no way we were going to possibly be able to provide feedback ahead of what DOT is asking for. However, I mean, to the extent that like, if we were in direct communication with DOT about this, can we ask them to give us more time? I mean, if we have like, very often we're dealing with a situation where we don't really have that sort of, communication with the agency, and we just, but if we do, and they're telling us what they need and we can tell them what we need, that's really what I think we should do. Because I think, if the board hasn't had a chance to look at the postings, they don't know that they were post it in the right place and this or that, and then there's going to be sort of limited time to do it. But in general, I mean, I also just don't like the idea of sending a committee resolution that isn't a full board resolution to the agency that's actually going to look at this. So it just seems like we need more time, period.
So let's go to Jordan for the explanation on what the background is here.
Yes, so this application came to us, I believe, either December or January. We were supposed to hear it at one of those meetings, and it was on the agenda for one of them. There was at the time there was no correspondence, and there was no appearance on the applicant's behalf on one of those meetings. So we already did send a disapproval resolution to the DOT that was voted on at the committee level, and then at the full board level, a disapproval for non-attendance. The DOT then personally and specifically reached out to me on this application asking if we could re-invite them and they would wait for us. So this is us asking DOT for more time for feedback, but because their feedback date that they had originally provided on the application was either end of December or end of January, early January, something like that. It was around, the holidays. They had asked, that we give them a feedback date or a resolution on the committee level, by this Friday. And we do usually send committee resolutions to the DOT, based on those feedback dates that they provide us. If the if the feedback date is prior to that next full board date, we will send out a conditional committee resolution with a addendum at the end saying that this is subject to change following the next full board resolution, and then or following the next full board meeting, and then we will send out a follow-up full board resolution as well, saying this is the finalized resolution. If it's changed, if it hasn't, we will let them know in the resolution itself. But that's kind of like where the timeline and process is, since DOT has their own specific timeline that doesn't always align with ours. This is kind of how we've been able to work together with the agency in giving them what they ask for by the time that they ask for, while also abiding by our own meetings. So we already have asked for this application specifically, and DOT had asked us specifically to give this applicant another chance to appear, but they still do need a committee resolution from us following this committee meeting.
All right. I mean, there's a lot there. Like, this is all new to me. In my experience, the only time we would ever send a committee resolution without a full board resolution was over the summer when we skipped a meeting for a month and didn't have a meeting that took place. Otherwise, in the past, the way that we'd always done it was we had always, scheduled everything to make sure that we would have a board resolution, and we did not, as a matter of course, send committee resolutions, because ultimately committee resolutions aren't really, they're not resolutions of the full board. So that seems
Russell, I
problematic.
think on the timing here, the shift has been in the new sidewalk and roadway application timeline that doesn't line up with ours. So that's been the practice since this new part's been in place.
So maybe this is just generally like a issue that we have to take up with DOT or something, where we just have to we need more notice essentially in terms of like how it's working. I mean, they just need to push everything back by 30 days, because it seems problematic to me that we're like not having the full board act on thing for some is, which, unlike, they're a little more frankly controversial on the board than liquor licenses, and the idea that we're just sort of like waving through a bunch of committee resolutions that don't have full board approval is sort of troubling to me. So that's just sort of one bigger issue, I guess. On this application, I mean, again, my question, like, if we're in direct contact with the DOT and they're saying, hey, like, and we've got, essentially this sort of tailored situation where they're asking for us to do a specific thing in relation to a specific application, it seems like they should be able to sort of accommodate us more. Like, I don't know why it is that they're demanding that we do this by Friday if they've already gotten a resolution from us and decided that they want to push it back. But then the other point I think to make here is, fundamentally, this is not an accommodation of the community board. This is an accommodation for this applicant. The applicant is basically 2 months late in coming to the board, it sounds like, and I don't think it's appropriate for us to be jammed up of what they've done or not done. So I would hope that we could just get agreement from the applicant to lay this over for a month and do whatever we need to do with DOT to have their review delayed as well to allow us to actually look at this in accordance with our normal process.
Okay, that's heard. I will let Jordan process and think on that for a minute. In the interim, let's hear from Judy.
Okay, I'd like to put a resolution on the floor, and if anyone approves it, I'd like to speak about it. Okay, my resolution would be to approve this, as you said before, Lindsay. And then when we go to the full board, if there is any reason that this resolution needs to be disapproved, that could happen at the full board. That's my resolution.
So you're saying something that's like a conditional approval.
Mm-hmm.
And despite the fact that like DOT has their own timelines.
Right, to meet DOT's timeline for Friday, if we approve it now, the committee approval.
Okay.
Okay, if somebody would second that, I have some comments to make about this.
Miles is seconding it.
Okay, we have had other committee resolutions, this committee being one of the major ones, where we have approved things because of deadlines and then gone to the full board. Okay, where we have sent committee resolutions to city agencies. So this would not be the first time Community Board 8 has done that. Okay, and I don't know what happens if we don't approve this now, if the woman who's presenting, if that means there's a holdup in her business. But business being the way it is now, I think we need to do everything we can to help our restaurants.
Thank you.
And if they made a mistake and didn't get the paperwork into the board office on time, then, or post on time, I think if they have it all done by the next full board meeting, they will have met all the needs that need to be met. And if anybody from the community wants to come and speak at the full board meeting and say, no, we shouldn't approve this restaurant because of ABC, then that's a different story. We'll discuss it at your meeting when you present it. But I would very much like the board members to approve this now and be able to send this on to DOT.
Okay, so we might have some disagreement here, but the motion is a conditional approval that would be sent to DOT. And then once the full board takes it up, it would be different. In the interim, the postings would be left up. You have a second for that. Would anyone like to call the question on this motion, and then we can like find out where things fall? Miles.
Call the question.
Okay, so let's call the question. This is a motion to approve with the stipulation that the applicant will send evidence that the flyers were already posted and keep them up for the next 2 weeks, subject to a reversal at the full board on the 18th, but this is what's going to be sent conditionally. If anyone's going to be voting no or abstaining, please let me know. Let's go to Russell.
No.
Okay. Let's go to Marco.
No, he shouldn't call the question. He's second and he shouldn't call the question. Thank you.
Oh, okay. I feel fine with someone else calling the question in that instance.
Thank you.
So yeah, Kimberly, thank you for pointing it out. Okay, so then this is going to be an 11-2 approval. And I do encourage you, Gino, to come to the full board meeting. It's an in-person meeting. You can find the details on CB8 and you can be in contact with Jordan Lee and she'll figure out things in the interim with you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, let's now move to the next part of our agenda, which is renewal applications for the Office of Cannabis Management. The first applicant that we have is Weedish, doing business as Bliss and Lex. Do we have a representative from Bliss and Lex here?
Yep, I am here.
Okay, great. Please go ahead with your presentation.
Awesome. So my name is Nicole Lucien. I'm one of the co-owners and operators of Bliss and Lex. We're presenting our application today for next month, 2 years of operation. I'm sorry, are you able to hear me?
It's just now kicked in. It was chunky at the beginning.
I apologize. I'll restart. So my name is Nicole Lucia, and I'm one of the owners and operators of Bliss and Lex. We are celebrating our 2-year anniversary next month, and are looking to for consideration of our license renewal. We look forward to continuing to serve the people of the Upper East Side as the #1 dispensary in the area.
Okay, great. Is there anyone from the public that has questions or comments for this applicant? Seeing none, let's go to Miles.
Sorry, I guess this is more of a question for Lindsay, but what kind of criteria and guidelines are we following for the actual rules of the distances? I'm sure because this was the whole debate last time. What is the ruling? And then
Yeah,
for Nicole,
Yep.
what is the proximity to both a school, a church, and another dispensary? Thank you.
so Miles, for this first question, right now, the Office of Cannabis Management is until February 15th of 2026, going with the door-to-door proximity standard, which is what we had previously had. After that time, there might be a change where it's that, like property line to property line. But right now, the guidance that we have is through February 15. It's going to be that door-to-door standard. Nicole, if you want to answer your part.
Absolutely. And Miles, just to let you know, we are within less than 100 feet if they don't use the door-to-door standard. So, given that we're not on the same block, less than 100 feet, it's because of the backs of our building back up to each other. That's where the distance has been calculated. So we would apply for a waiver. But again, as Lindsay mentioned, it is on standby until the 15th. It's kind of at a higher level on the state level. And then once we get direction, then we could apply. But as of right now, we've been given direction to continue operations and we can apply for our license renewal as well. We have a pretty robust identification system that scans both US and international IDs and passports. So we're pretty confident that we are not allowing any underage visitors and do flag and ban accounts that do not pass our electronic verification.
All right, let's go to Marco.
This is a comment. In one of the meetings, I don't know if it was the last one, Valerie Mason mentioned that the calculations in the way that was interpreted at the beginning, these venues, it was in the same street. But no anymore. They said a radius, and radius of 500 feet, and that include now Ramaz School. However, I understand also that is they saying because the mistake was made by by the organization, they allow to keep operating until the lease is gonna be expired, so probably 10 years. But this is I hear. This is what I'm stand. However, I'm going to say no to this application. Thank you.
Okay, let's recognize Russell.
Motion to approve, and if it's seconded, I would like to speak to it.
Okay, it is seconded.
So, I was pretty frustrated to hear about this whole like mix up, I guess, with OCM, and I do think that for places that fall within one definition but not the other definition, if it's a new applicant, I think, we shouldn't approve them. I think this is a very different situation. It's a situation where also, just to say at the outset, I mean, my understanding of the difference was it had to do with whether the two doors of the places were on like literally the same street and you weren't allowed to turn a corner or something like that. That was what it was. It wasn't about the property line or whatever, but that's a sort of ancillary issue. To me, a place that has already been operating for 2 years, I think effectively, from my perspective, is sort of grandfathered. And it's one thing to say we're not going to approve a new business that may not really comply with the actual rules when they're properly interpreted, but I don't think it makes sense to disapprove an existing business on that basis. They've got 2 years of operating in that location. We're not aware of any complaints from based on the proximity that they have to Ramaz or anywhere else, there's been no issues. So I think if they've been operating well and, all indications are that they have, I think we should approve them and allow them to stay and basically just leave it to OCM for whatever the remedy is ultimately going to be for places that were, approved under the prior standard. And then to the extent the standard changes, like that's going to be a statewide issue that they're going to have to deal with. And I think I would, for existing businesses, just leave that to them. And I think we should approve this.
Okay, thank you. Let's go to Robin.
Hi, everybody. Thanks, Lindsay. I agree with, I think the history of OCM has been so difficult for us, but really for the shop owners. It twists your head back and forth the way the regs are constantly changing and how confusing they are to, to everyday normal people that are trying to operate a business. I'm going to vote no on this application because the shop is non-compliant with frosting their windows. And it's very clear from the street what's being sold in there. Product is 100% visible, like it's Fairway or Bloomingdale's. And all the other cannabis shops in the neighborhood are compliant with that requirement. And this particular shop is not. So Lindsay, I'm going to vote no on this one.
Thank you, Robin. And that is something that someone else had reached out to me prior to this meeting about how there's certainly no advertisements in the windows of this building, but it is the case that because they're entirely clear, you can see product from the street. You don't need like binoculars to see in, you can see it. And so I am sort of wondering if the applicant would be willing to think about or consider what might be done so that this isn't so visible from the street level into the business.
Absolutely. We've been intentional with our product placement. So the products that are closest to the window are CBD products, which do not contain any THC. So we were being compliant in that measure, but we have no concerns or objections to putting up any additional frosting if the board is asking us to do so. We don't think that it impacts our business significantly, and we want to make sure that the board and the community are comfortable. So we have, been very intentional with what we place closest to the windows, but we are open to frosting and can get that done within the next few days if you'd like.
So I believe we have a motion to approve that's right now, and I'm sort of wondering if we would accept something with a stipulation that Robin might suggest about window frosting. Robin, would you come off mute, and would that be something?
Yeah, and what I forgot to say before, Nicole, is that I'm your neighbor. I am right around the corner from you. And I want to say something. May sound a little bit sentimental, but I remember vividly when you and your husband came originally 2 years ago, and you talked about yourself being an educator, and you talked about your husband being victimized by the criminal justice system for, well, I don't have to repeat the whole story. So I, for one, was very sympathetic and wish you guys all the luck in the world. And I'm very disappointed, with the way you've proceeded with your business. And as I said, I'm your neighbor. And when I walk by that store in the summer, the door is wide open. It gives a straight shot right into the shop. And I don't think the issue is Ramaz 100%, but there's a little elementary school in the church right up the block towards Park Avenue. So getting back to your question, Lindsay, about stipulation, yes, I support this shop. I hope they continue to flourish and thrive, but they do need to address the requirements of frosting over those windows and keeping the door shut in the summer.
If I could just speak to that,
we lost you.
We're
losing you.
Have the doors open, some type. Sorry, we typically.
She went off mute. I just sent another request, but
Well, in the interim, I will
I'm
say,
sorry.
okay.
I was having issues unmuting myself. So, Robin, I do want to make sure. I'm sorry, I'm having some connection issues as well. Robin, I do want to make sure that you are comfortable. And so we will put the frosting into the rest of the board. I will send picture proof of the frosting once we put it up to Jordan and the rest of the board so that you're aware. Again, our goal was never to disappoint our neighbors. And I do appreciate the feedback and we will address that. In regards to the elementary school on the block, it is not in violation. We are distance-wise further far enough away where that location has not been flagged by the OCM. So I just wanted to clarify that as well.
Okay, thank you. So you will agree to a stipulation about frosting the windows. I do want to say this is a triumph in terms of community back and forth, because I know that we've had a lot of discussion on our end on this. So I'm very glad that you're willing to agree to that stipulation. So we have a motion with this. Let's go to TJ Stein.
I thought I unmuted. I was going with the frosting of the window as a stipulation, but she's already acknowledged that.
Okay, so does someone want to call the question on this action? Do you want to do that, TJ?
Correction, yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is a motion to approve for a renewal application. The applicant has agreed to a stipulation to change to frosted windows in the front of the store. If anyone's going to be voting no, please let me know. Let's go ahead to the count. Marco.
Thank you. No.
Okay. And Jane.
No, sorry,
Okay.
no.
All right. So then this will go down as an 11-0 approval. Thank you very much. Let's now head to Carnegie Cannabis Company. Is there a representative from this business here? Robin is waving. Robin, what do you need?
Hold on one second. Sorry, Robin. And Wei, he is the representative. I sent a request from you.
I'm
Okay, I
sorry,
also,
did you?
okay, hold on. Let's,
Wait, let's get back to Lucienne's shop, Bliss.
yeah.
Did you say 11-0, Lindsay?
11-2, I'm sorry, 11-2.
Okay, okay.
Yes.
We're good.
Okay, I'm
Thank you.
sorry, everyone. That's me. Judy, that was your question as well? Okay, great. Sorry, everyone. Thanks I'm glad you guys are listening so well and catching me. This is good. Let's go to Wei with Carnegie Cannabis Company. That's a tongue twister.
Oh, sorry, no, it's a Carnegie Hill Cannabis Co.
Okay.
To make it somewhat more easier. But
Yep.
thank you, everyone. Good evening. I'm here representing Carnegie Hill Cannabis Co. We've been in operation for about 6 weeks, but because of the license renewal cycles, we were asked to reapply and pay for another $4,000 fee to OCM as part of the renewal process. So, which we did already. And so after operating for about 6 weeks very successfully at 1720 2nd Avenue between 89th and 90th Streets, I'm back here before the board seeking approval to recommendation to renew my license at this location.
All right, is there anyone from the public that has questions or comments for this applicant? Seeing none, let's go to Robin.
Can somebody clarify, Jordan, Lindsay, Russell, somebody explain, did we not just approve this?
Jordan, why don't you jump in?
So this one is a little bit tricky in terms of, OCM, the process of applying, you have to get a space and you have to get a lease and you have to get, approval from the community board, and then you have to get approval from OCM in order to even start operating. So that process alone took about the time and length that it would have taken to the length of the license itself. So this is why it's kickstarting a renewal process again. I don't believe we heard this exact one recently, this exact business, but I do believe Wei has been before the board kind of recently. But I don't think it was for this exact business.
Was it for this exact business, Wei? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
This is weird.
We are also within all distance requirements, however you interpret them. We're fully compliant, 1,000 feet, 500 feet, 200 feet, under all measurements, away from, all the required places. And as promised, nothing crazy in terms of our signage. 89th Street, Carnegie Hill Cannabis Co.
But
That's our.
you're currently operating, taking credit cards, you're selling
Well, not
product?
credit cards.
No, right, I'm
yeah.
sorry. You're,
We have an ATM on site, and we do accept the PIN debit card system, the debit cards. So,
but you're an active business right now.
yes, ma'am.
Okay.
6 weeks, 7 weeks, I think, almost. So.
All right. So, does anyone want to make a motion, or does anyone have? Miles, let's go to Miles.
Motion to approve is presented.
Okay, great. We've got a second from Kimberly. Marlene, did you have a thought, comment, or want to call the question?
I wanted to call the question.
Perfect. All right. So this is a renewal application. This is a motion to approve. If anyone's going to be voting no or abstaining, please let me know. I know Marco and Jane are going to be no's. So just like the other, this is an 11-2 approval. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone. Have a good evening. Thank you.
Let's now go to the last item of business for tonight, which is a application for a new cannabis application. Is there a representative from Belrose Migrant Center LLC here?
Yes.
All right, please go ahead with your presentation.
Okay. I apologize. We had an emergency in New York City, in Brooklyn, so there's no power outage. So they're waiting for me, but that's okay. Okay. So this is 1625 East 2nd Avenue. This is a new establishment. It used to be an old smoke shop, illegal smoke shop for 4 years. The sheriff shut them down. They gave them tickets. It took the landlord like a long time to get the possession back. Finally, they got it back with the help of OCM. So the facility is going to be open from 10 a.m. to 11 p.m. We're going to have 4 employees, security guard, 21 and over. I'm the owner. I'm the only owner. And that's it. I guess we're going to be full compliance. It's over 1,000 feet from another dispensary, 500 feet from the schools, 200 feet from the house of worships. And we're going to be full compliance with OCM. I took the classes with the SBS. I still take classes, and that's it.
Okay, is there anyone from the public that has questions or comments for this applicant? Seeing none, let's go to Robin.
Hi, Dan. Thank you for coming this evening. Tell me, you're on
I
second.
apologize. I'm just doing so much. I was with the Army base this morning, and then, just doing so much. And now we're helping with New York City. There's no power here. So it's like, that's why I'm in the car, because I'm waiting to go back to hand over blankets and, flashlights and to people that need it.
Yes.
Let's let Robin pose the question.
Yeah, sorry for your trouble, but
no trouble.
This is second. The cross streets are.
It's on 84th and 85th Street and
Okay.
2nd Avenue.
Robin,
Okay,
I think it's right next to the Van Leeuwen.
Right. So are you near Elio's as well there?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have interest in any other cannabis enterprises in New York City, Dan?
I did purchase another license. I also own Cohen Optical, so I'm actually in a health facility. So I'm treating this as a healthcare.
Okay. But do you have any interest in any other cannabis shops?
So we do have a facility that we're trying to open up on 44th and 9th Avenue.
Okay, so this would be your second one in
That is correct.
Okay, how about in any of the other boroughs? Are you present in cannabis in any?
I'm trying to open up another facility in Long Island.
Okay, so this would be number 3 then.
Yes.
Okay, so we've covered all your interests. Okay. Thank you. I
Thank you.
appreciate it.
Sacha?
Is there a reason for such a late close time? Grocery
No,
stores don't even stay open that late, so
no,
11
I
p.m.
agree with
sounds
you.
very late.
You know, the previous owner that was operating illegally, he was there till 4 in the morning.
Yeah,
So
well,
that's why,
I believe that.
yeah. So that's why I was going, till 11 p.m. I know Sweet Life is there till, I believe, 2. We don't have to stay till 11. Originally I was trying to do it till 9 p.m., but then I was pushing back till 11. They were just trying to help the community, that's all.
Okay, thank you.
All right, let's go to Russell.
So I have a few questions. I guess the first is I don't see anything about what the outdoor signage is going to look like for the establishment. So that's one question is sort of what's going on there. And then
We're gonna put with OCM. We actually hired Tamika to do our display and our signage and the indoors. We do have a DBA, which is Cannabis NYC. So it will be probably like a nice. It'll be elegant, like an elegant signage with a 3D, like nothing like a high end dispensary.
And then sorry, the name of it is Cannabis NYC.
Yeah, Cannabis NYC.
Okay, if you have like a rendering of that, I think it would be good for us to.
Yeah, I would email that.
We're supposed to-
Absolutely.
We're
No,
supposed to be able to see
absolutely.
that. That's
Yeah,
number one.
absolutely.
Number two, can you just explain the name of
At the time when I applied, back then we were doing with the, like I said, I work with the New York City. So back then we were helping the migrants with the mayor's office. So when I applied, it was just a corporation. There's no affiliation with any of that. So I just
it's
applied.
not a migrant center.
No.
Okay, and then just to clarify, I guess your sort of business focus is going to be medical patients, but you're not going to be exclusively medical.
No, but that is correct. But we're going to try to help the medical facility with medical patients, but we're not going to do it exclusively.
Okay. My one other comment that I'll make just is I think dispensaries tend to be quieter than bars because they're not sort of hangout places to the same degree. So I personally don't have a concern about it staying open till 11. And yeah, I mean, to me, that's the reason that they would want to do that is if somebody between 10 and 11 wants to buy cannabis, it enables them to do that. So from my perspective, that's
We're going to try to do the best for the community, and I appreciate that.
Okay, let's go to Judy.
I make a motion to approve.
All right, and then you've got seconds. Okay, and Robin?
I have to tell you that I'm going to vote against this shop. We have too many of them in our neighborhood as it is.
Okay. Let's go to Sasha. Or no, Sasha? Or you're...
I was gonna abstain.
Oh, okay, so maybe you want to call a question first and then we'll do it?
Oh, call to question.
Perfect, let's do that. Okay, great. So this is a motion to approve. If you're going to be voting no or abstaining, please let me know. And I will note that we have a no from Robin Seligson. We have a no from Jane Parshall. We have a no from Marco Tamayo. We have a no from Lindsay Cormack. We have an abstention from, sorry, I have to write abstention from Sasha Selim. Is there anyone else who would like to put
On
anything other?
Community Board 4, they actually gave me a recommendation. If you want, I'll email you the recommendation letter.
You're welcome to do that with Jordan. For the purposes of this vote, Marco, sorry, Marco, are you no or abstain? Marco's
And the
muted.
reason why I picked that area is because I'm always at the Gracie Mansion. So
Okay,
that's
we're in
why.
the voting part. This is not like a
Oh,
chit
I
chat.
apologize.
Yeah.
Okay.
The
Marco,
answer
you're
is
a
no.
no? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, great. So then this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 to 1, 2, 4. Am I getting this right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
I mean, you guys want an illegal facility there?
This is like,
this
this is like not a chit chat. I actually think this is probably detrimental, if anything.
I
Okay, so this is
understand.
an 8 to 1 to 4 approval. Let's recognize Jane.
Thank you, Lindsay. I just want to say that there's something that off about this application. The fact that this gentleman is saying he's always at Gracie Mansion and stuff. I mean, what does that have to do? I'm so
Okay,
shocked.
I don't
Thank
actually,
you.
I don't think we need to do the crosstalk to figure out these things, but I appreciate the concern
I just
there.
had to make the editorial comment. Thank you, Lindsay.
Thanks. Let's go to Judy.
Lindsay, could you explain your vote? I didn't get that. You said 8 to 1. The abstention was 1 abstention. Should be 8-4-1?
Oh, I always have the abstention in the middle. I have the 8 and then the
No,
1.
it
and the
needs
4.
to be at the end. So you had 4 no's and 1 abstention.
4 no and 1 abstention.
And
All
the
right.
rest were yes. So it's
Yep.
yes, no, abstain.
All right, thanks. Okay.
Thank you.
Marco?
Yes, I think one more comment. Usually is the members of the community board, they vote, and the other members, they can vote too, but it has to let it know on the full board how was the vote, especially for the public members. But because at the end, the only thing that they vote is just only the community board members. But it's good to know this information.
Yeah, and in the minutes, I actually include all of them. So it has the names that counts the breakdowns.
Yeah, thank you. That's it.
Okay. All right, everyone. So we have reached the end of this meeting in terms of what's on the agenda. Would anyone like to put any other sorts of motions forward? Marco?
Yes, I just review the application for the nectar. In the way that I'm seeing, it looks like it's not an enclosed sidewalk cafe. Clearly, there are awnings in the area that they are proposing, so it cannot be a grandfather. The only thing grandfather they're talking about is they put it in the period of COVID. If COVID doesn't grandfather anything, and they had to remove. Remember the project of 77 and Second Avenue across the bank? It was a very expensive structure, and they removed because they follow the regulations. And many other applications, that is the case also right here. I'm seeing right now the picture. The picture was taken in 2024. So that clearly in Google Earth, in Google Maps.
So, Marco, here's what I'll say about this is the Department of Transportation has classified it as an enclosed sidewalk cafe, but I think the follow-up with Jordan and DOT and you will probably be illustrative in us figuring out where this actually falls down. Yeah.
This is just only upon the information. Thank you so much.
Yeah. And then will you please remember to email me that stipulation for that
I
one
will.
earlier?
That was for what project? For
I have it for UES Tavern.
US.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
The
Okay.
stipulation, okay.
Yeah, there was one stipulation that needs
Yeah.
to go into that one. Okay. Any
Thank
other?
you.
Thank you. Any other sort of like motions that anyone wants to do? Judy?
Move to adjourn. And thank you.
Hooray. Okay, you got seconds for that. Thanks, everyone. This was a really good, efficient meeting, and I'm so happy about the sort of communal outcomes we got on things that were of concern to people in the neighborhood. I will see you all in 2 weeks if I don't see you before at the full board. Bye-bye.
See you on February 9th, probably,
Okay,
hopefully.
see you then.